So again, the reason why I started affirmations and positive mindset is because I think it is lacking. I think that in this world, we have so many things that are negative and come at us and just constantly bombard us with everything that pulls us down, that we need to focus and really, really be intentional on what we say to ourselves and to others, because all of those outside influences that are coming at us and basically getting in our brain and telling us all of the things that we can't do. And I want to focus on what you can do. So today, the intentions I have for the webinar are to, thank you, Michelle. I'm looking at if somebody sees, help me out, Steph or Michelle. Here, Michelle, I'm going to make you, because you're a Zoom queen, I'm going to ask you to be the host with me. I hope that didn't give up my rights. I have no idea if that worked like that.
I'll give it back to you.
Okay.
Just before we end, but
okay.
Everybody put your cameras on so we could take a picture of this and post this to give Cynthia credibility, please.
Oh, you're adorable.
Thank you. Everyone take your cameras out and take a picture.
I love that Mike and Jesslyn are here from Canada.
Go on your Instagram.
It's amazing.
Everybody.
You guys are awesome. Come on, Steph, you can do it. Jessie Sue, you wearing a hat? Ken, keep yours off. He's not on anymore. He must have dropped. That's funny. Jessie Sue, you are in a hat. Good morning, my love. Charlene's making some cookies. Melinda, thank you very much for joining. Nick is on here. Good morning, Nick. Okay.
Okay. So
go ahead.
Everyone, before we
Michelle.
start, take pictures and post this and tag everybody. Tag Cynthia. Okay. Because we want to make it so super big and we want her to increase her following.
Thank you, guys. I'm pretty excited. Thank you. So the intentions today are to help you open your mind and clear out all that mental clutter, because so many times, like I said earlier, we get bombarded with the everyday. I know that a lot of people have gotten my book, and I am really excited because I didn't know how I was going to reach people when I wrote the book. I didn't know how I was going to market it. I didn't know how it was going to get out there. But the people who support you and encourage you, it has been so amazing. David, Michelle, I mean, all of you, even the new people that have just started following me and encouraging me, I appreciate you so much. Tammy's not on here, but she sent me her book and I didn't even know that she was an author as well. So that was a really nice surprise. But when I was writing the book, I came up with a tagline: how to be proactive with your growth and not reactive with your life. It is so important to grow and learn and continually feed yourself new things, new exposure, how to do these things. You are growing you. And during that process, you need to encourage yourself, self-affirm. So I use affirmations. And so I want to teach you, I have a fly buzzing around my head. I want to teach you, if you are not using them, how powerful they are. Absolutely 100%. Can you just raise your hand if you are using them? Raise your hand. Yes, yes, yes. Steph, I know you are. Osbert, I think you are. Some of the newbies, if you're not, that's another reason why I wanted to do this webinar, because I want to share with you how powerful they are. My very first affirmation was, I share very well. And it was something that I told myself I didn't do well. It was always my scapegoat. It was always something that I told myself so that I wouldn't have to open up and show who I was. And it was crazy to me because when I finally figured it out, it was like I journaled for 3.5 pages and I never journal. Does anybody journal? I know Jessie Sue does. I know you do. She's one of the ones. Logan also taught me that. He taught me to journal. I don't do it a lot. I should do it more often. But when I did, it was just this outlet and this huge, it made me lighter. It opened up something in me where I was just completely in awe of the power that it had to change my thoughts and my mindset. So that's the first thing. That's the first thing that I really want to focus on, is how powerful they are. The second thing is intentionality, and how you use them and when you use them and where they are and how you do them, because they can be helpful anytime. It's not just in the morning. It's not just before you go to bed. It's any time you need them. Terry's shaking her head. I love it. We'll have to have a conversation. Oh, that was something I wanted to do. Before I forget, I'm going to drop in the chat. Hopefully it's still here. Yes, I'm dropping in the chat a link. If anybody needs help with affirmations you can find online. There's a book I have. I know David got the book of affirmations. It's something to help you. Sometimes it can be tricky to craft, but if you craft them for you, they're even that much more powerful. The one we find a lot online is I am enough. It's really powerful, but you can customize them for you. Like for me, the very first one, I share very well. It was something that was blocking me. So I made one for me specifically just for that reason, because it was something I needed to get through. It was something I needed to unlock so that I could push through to the next level. And the reason why I found that was because I was listening to a lot of people in my community, in the GSD community, who were sharing things. And I was like, it was always my scapegoat. Like I said, I don't share very well. And I just would kind of block it off. So that's the second thing I want to do. And then the third point that I want to make is it all starts with you. Nobody can do it for you. You have to find the power in you. That's why I called this Affirmations Unlocking Your Superpower. Terry, I love it. Thank you. It's really important. You don't know the power that you have inside. It literally all starts with you. When I wrote the book, they wanted to change the emphasis on the title. And I said, I really hemmed and hawed about it, because they wanted the can to be capitalized, but I wanted the you to be capitalized and put the emphasis on, because if you don't know you can do it, then that's half the battle. So I know that probably all of you have these. I'm not sure if somebody doesn't. Of course, you can order it on my website, cynthiakahi.com. Again, actually, I was going to offer it to you guys today. If you don't have it already, order it through my website. I'm going to have a code where you can get it for $5.95. It's $14.95. There's my website. Everything, if you're not following me, if you want to follow me, everything is Cynthia Kahi. So those are the three things that I want to cover today. Again, at the end, if you have any questions, if you want to say anything during this whole time, please, it's open. I like it to be a conversation. I am sharing just because I'm also getting my feet wet. If you have any feedback for me, if there's something you loved, if there's something that didn't quite work so well, please let me know. One of my 5 R's is reflect. And that means looking at how I did this week. What do I do well? What did I not do well? And how can I get better? Those are the 3 questions I ask myself when I reflect. And that's my 5th R on Sundays. So I also want to just tell you, I'm just like you. I wake up in the morning and sometimes I don't feel all warm and fuzzy. I use affirmations every single day. Every day. One of my favorite ones is, today, I choose to live out of my imagination and not my memory. It is in my book. I use it depending on the day, I mean, I've counted up to like 6 times a day. There's levels in your life, and this is a brand new level for me. I have never had the inclination or the drive in my mind to teach people. So this is huge for me. And I say that to myself today. I choose to live out of my imagination and not my memory. Because I see things differently, my perspective has changed. And so what that does for me is it stops me in right now. And I say, today, I choose, and that's my choice, to live out of my imagination, which is what I see in my future, rather than thinking about the things that happened to me or the things that carry with me through the past. So this is a really good one. It can be used anytime. Anybody can use it. But again, it's really, really important. Your conscious mind and your subconscious mind. I'm not going to get too technical because I don't know all of the details, but the basics of it are: the conscious is today. The subconscious is everything that's ever happened to you. It's like a big old supercomputer, and it stores everything and it remembers everything and it brings up these things. Sometimes even in times where you didn't even remember that was there, it'll come back and you'll be like, what? It's crazy. But the self-awareness, as you grow, you will learn how to see it clearer. You'll see it sooner. And so the conscious is like a Post-it note. I just heard this, so I'm going to use this analogy because I thought it was really good. I'm constantly learning and I'm constantly growing. I just listened to something from Coach Burt and Dr. Kevin Elko. Amazing. I know David and Osbert and Stephanie have seen and heard from Rosa. I've heard of Coach Burt. But Dr. Kevin Elko was new for me, and he talks a lot about mindset. And here's the other thing I just learned from him. And I posted this the other day on my story because I think it's a great question. Stephanie, I think you answered this one for me. I said, here's the question. And I kind of want to see a show of hands. So let me know. Do you listen to yourself? The thoughts in your head. Do you listen to yourself? Yes, no, maybe so. I listen to myself. But here's the bigger one. Do you talk to yourself? There you go. Look at that. Kim said, yes. Michelle, David, awesome. Because when you talk to yourself, that's the important part. You shouldn't always listen to yourself, because all that stuff from the supercomputer comes up, right? Some stuff you don't want to listen to. Don't listen to yourself when you want to stay in bed and you're not getting up and you're not doing all the things on your to-do list from your calendar. Talk to yourself. Get out of bed right now. Don't think about it. Get out of bed. I have, I kind of drug my feet on the notes for today. Again, very new for me, thinking about all those things. I'm listening to myself. You've never done this before. What are you going to do? How are you going to do it? What's going to be your flow? What's going to be your format? What are you going to do if you get stuck? I'm real. All of this went through my head. And so I stopped and I just had to start. I just had to stop myself from listening to all that stuff that's happening in my head. And I just had to start. I just had to start and say, this is what I'm going to do today. And this is what I want to give you. So the other thing I have is, so with that, let me ask you, does that change your thought process? You listen to yourself or you talk to yourself? Does it change anything for you? Does it? I mean, if you really think about it and you listen to yourself, sometimes you don't get what you want to hear. When you talk to yourself, you're telling yourself what you're going to do, how you're going to do it, what you're going to look like doing it. How does it feel when you do it? That's the power of the affirmation. That's the power of talking to yourself. So I thought that that was really, really cool. And I had to share that with you. When you think about just your day, being intentional, how are you intentional? Somebody in our group does a calendar appointment in their phone 3 times a day. Say your affirmations. That's intentional. I have a morning routine, and it is in my morning routine to say my affirmations. Some people write them down. I want to encourage you to actually voice them, to actually say your affirmations. Because when you say your affirmations and it comes out of your mouth, you're actually hearing it. You're putting it in there. You're putting it out in the universe. I posted something in our group that I was listening. Goodness, I can't remember who it was now. So sorry, I can't give you credit, but whoever it was said to say them in the mirror. And I was like, I'm going to try it. So I said them to myself in the mirror. Now, I don't do it every day, but the days I really need it, the days where I'm not feeling so hot, or I'm not feeling all the courage, or I'm not feeling all the confidence, and I have to talk to myself, and I have to get myself to that point where I say, yes, I can. I do them in the mirror. And that powerful one that I use when I'm doubting myself, or when I don't have just that little bit extra courage. This is another new one. It's not new. It's in my book. It's an original one, which is, and Phil helped me with this one in my GSD group. It is, I have the courage and confidence to live my true potential. And that one really hits me, and it tells me that I'm at a new level, but it's okay. I have the courage and I have the confidence to do this next level of my life. And this is another thing that's so powerful. If you hear 5 people over here telling you, what are you doing that for, Sin? Nobody's going to listen to you. Who's going to read your book? Why are you going to write a book? I hear often, wow, you're so busy. You're doing so many things. If you take it wrong, it can be discouraging. But if you have the mindset to say, thank you, I am doing a lot of things, and people are actually benefiting from what I'm doing. So it's a shift. You're writing it and you're saying it to yourself. So you're making it your affirmation. You're making it true for yourself. Because if you listen to yourself instead of talk to yourself, that's when we get in trouble. So the intention of how and when and what you're saying to yourself is the power of the affirmation. Yes, Stephanie, Phil is really good at affirmations. He helps a lot. He's a great guy. Let's see. So, I said something I learned from Dr. Kevin Elko also when it regards to intention. He gives this analogy and it really resonated with me. It fired me up and I had to share. So I did a video, and I don't know if you saw it, but it goes like this. He says, if you go to your garden and you plant a pumpkin seed, what are you going to get? A pumpkin. If you go to your garden and you plant a corn seed, what are you going to get? Corn. If you go to your garden and you plant sunflowers, what are you going to get? Sunflowers. If you don't plant anything in your garden, what are you going to get? Weeds. You get weeds because you're not tending to your garden, because you're not being intentional. You're not planting anything, right? So the whole point of affirmations is to plant it, to talk to yourself, to tell yourself what you want, how you want things to come about. And so the reason why I said Affirmations can be used at any level in your life because you can customize them. You can make them for any season. If you're going through a hard time and you don't have the courage, or you don't have the confidence, or you just don't even have sometimes the strength, you can make yourself an affirmation and push yourself through it. Talk to yourself. Get yourself through what you're struggling with. You grow through it, just like the analogy of the garden. It's amazing, the power of your mind. And I really want you to think about how you talk to yourself, what you say. Literally in a conversation, when we are talking to ourselves, I've done some one-on-ones and I can hear there's these certain words that just stick out to me. And it's amazing. And I feel like it's such a gift because it's changed my life. It has changed how I talk to people. It's changed how I interact with people. And it's truly a gift. My girlfriend, Sue, she's not on this call, but she told me during one of our conversations that I have everybody has self-doubt, right? It's a new level for me. It's a new level to have a webinar and talk to people and share the power of affirmations. But she told me, because I was using certain words, and again, I'm just like everybody else. Something's new for me. So I made an affirmation because I was talking about being a speaker and how it was going to go and what I was going to do. And she said I would be doing a disservice if I wasn't offering my services. And so that kind of hit me, and it changed the way I thought about things, and it changed the way I approach things. So sometimes it takes that one person to help you realize something in a different way. And I hope that that's what this call is doing for you, because I want you to know how powerful you are, the words that you say, and how you talk to yourself. And that is the beauty of the affirmations. That's right. Melinda just posted, she put in the comments, words have so much power, and they truly do. I have removed try and should from my vocabulary, she says. So there are certain things that you'll learn as you change the wiring in your brain, as you start to talk to yourself more. You don't even want those words in your brain. You don't even want them in there. So you kick them out and you change them to other things. So I'm going to do one more quote because I'm a quote girl. And I saw this yesterday and I posted it. Greg Reed, I'll share just because I don't know if a lot of you know this, but I'm doing a third book, and I've joined and collaborated with Greg Reed. It's going to be called Station 42. And so I follow him, and this is his quote from yesterday. It says, "What we tolerate will continue. So become diligent to only accepting excellence." And what I posted was, the way this hit me, the way I took this in was, it starts with you. It starts with how you expect excellence from yourself. So start making yourself excellent. When you make yourself excellent, you won't even think of the word tolerate, because it's so powerful when you work on you. It all starts with you. You have the power inside of you. Once you realize this, your world will change. And I just, again, want to say how grateful I am for all of you who jumped on. Ben, I see you. Good morning. Rosa commented in the 10X bootcamp yesterday, Grant went further to say, remove think and believe, as in, I believe I can, makes changes. I can make a change. So that's funny. He said, remove, think and believe. Rosa, can you share with that a little bit? I love the word believe.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's he didn't mean it like I believe or these are my beliefs, but when he was giving feedback to the people making their pitches, people were saying, I believe I can get a certain amount of sales or whatever. Just say, I can get this. Like remove that, because that, in a way, when you're verbalizing that dilutes, you have the conviction that you can do it, right? I believe I can do it, rather than I can do it. And it's just that, Grant has a different way of thinking. And I think he has gotten to a certain point because of the way he thinks. And I thought that was really interesting. I mean, I'm not sure if that goes against what other people would say, but I took notice of that. And I thought that was kind of important in the framework that he was saying it, especially during the pitches.
I understand. And it was more of a sales approach. Is that why?
It could be a sales approach, but it could also be a conviction approach, meaning people have their convictions of what they can do in whatever they're trying to get through.
So I'm going to use you as an example for just a second, only because I know that you hate cold calls.
I do.
But did you build an affirmation around them?
Not one that I've stuck with, meaning I write affirmations, but some of them, they just don't stick with me, meaning maybe I'm not doing it properly for that specific thing. So, one affirmation that, that I am using is, I'm a great, let me see. So I can say it exactly the way I wrote it down. I'm a great communicator with everyone that I meet, and I make meaningful connections.
That's good. That's good.
It's not exactly about cold calls. I'm just saying I'm a great communicator and I make great connections. I make a great connections with people.
And I can guess why you did that, because you don't like the word cold call.
Yes.
So it's good. So that's perfect. Case in point, you're rewiring your thoughts. You're rewiring your brain. You don't like cold calls, so you're not making cold calls. What was it? I'm a master communicator. What was it?
I'm a great communicator with everyone, and I make meaningful connections.
Okay. So that's perfect. So that's a great example of how you can make it for you. Anything that you think you're stumbling on, or you're having pushback in your brain, or something is giving you some sort of trouble, that's an obstacle, that's something that you have to get through or over, you can build an affirmation to get you through it. And that's the perfect case in point. Cold calls, nobody likes cold calls. I mean, Grant's guys probably do. Oh, Michelle does. You like cold calls, Michelle? Why? I'm just curious. Tell me why.
First of all, I'm better than Grant and Jared at cold calls. I am the master of cold calls. I teach it. I have courses on my thing. I do 350 cold calls a day, because no matter what you do, you have to build a relationship. And if you build a relationship with somebody, they're going to buy. And Grant says what he says because that's a part of his Scientology. So, and it's a fact. If you say to yourself, see, I'm a Christian, so I just ask in Jesus' name. But if you say to yourself, take the word, like anything negative, like I won't or I can't, when you tell me I can't do something, I'm going to show you just how to do it.
That's what
and
I do.
I look at myself in the mirror every day. And Aaliyah, you got to close her ears. But I am one bad ass mother, and I say it. And I look at it myself in the mirror, and I just, every day, if I don't say it out loud, it's like I psych myself into having a good day.
That's another good point. Physiology. Doug Volsky talks about this. I know Anthony Robbins does. When you say that and you give it that all and you give it that conviction, you change your vibration to where I just was to where I am, because you just put so much emphasis on who you are that it changes your whole vibration. So in the morning, when you start your day, because you're a master cold caller and you're a badass beep, beep, then that gets you ready, right, to be your master cold caller. So you see how they go together, right? And it's all the affirmation. It's the self-talk, how you talk to yourself. I would love if somebody gave me a takeaway from today. You can just unmute your mic because you
Put
share very well.
affirmations in your daily routine
Do
and
you,
speak them out loud.
thank you. Do you do them every day, Stephanie?
I don't always speak them out loud, but I do have them on my mirror.
Will you speak them out loud now?
I will do a much better job at speaking them out loud more regularly.
Good. They help. I swear. I promise. I promise. Even like, you know, I might add that to mine, Michelle, because I really like that. It literally just changed my whole vibration. So on those days when you don't have the muster, when you get up and you're tired and you talk to yourself and you say, I'm a badass, beep, beep. I feel it. So craft one for you that you feel that actually changes your physiology when you need it, right? You're tired, you got out of bed. Michelle, you had 5 Zoom calls the day before, you didn't sleep well. What do you do in the morning? How do you get yourself ready? How do you talk to yourself for the day? How do you get your mind ready to do what your body's going to do? Coach says something very similar to that. Get your mind ready for what your body's about to do. There's 2 steps. But it all starts right here. It really does. Anybody else? Terry, you have a lot of wisdom. Care to share?
You know, you gave some really good tips, and I'm sitting here taking a full page notes.
Oh, thank you.
I think that you've nailed it on the head. I'm a huge Wayne Dyer person, studied a lot of stuff with him. And I will tell you, one of the things, actually what changed my life was understanding affirmations.
Really?
And creating them myself at my lowest point. And
that totally makes
Dr. Dyer wrote the book of the Tao, you know, analyzed it and researched it. And his key phrase, and I use this all the time, even in my trainings, is when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And I truly, truly believe it, because I, like you, have lived it and understood the power of affirmations. And, you know, you did a great job today. And I just think that it's all about building confidence and courage and getting past the fear, which is something I carried with me and lived with for a very long time. And I'm also doing a lot of things with limiting beliefs and how to get past limiting beliefs. And the power of affirmations is one of those ways. So great job, Cynthia. I'm grateful to be here.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm grateful for everyone who has come and had some interest. I hope I've added value. I would love to hear if somebody has, just from this 30 minutes, has it changed your mind? If you haven't done affirmations, will you do affirmations? Anybody who didn't do them before? Nobody? Everybody does them? Everybody does them. That's wonderful.
Well, I've always done them, but I'll
Uh-huh.
give you a takeaway from today.
Okay.
So I've always done them, and a lot of time I've done them as gratitude statements. So I think a takeaway today, because I have a lot on my plate, like everyone else does. And I think so I've had some blockages and some fear of some of my new ventures. So I think the one thing I didn't do was say them to myself in the mirror. Like I had things taped to my mirror. I have my affirmations, I journal. I do say them out loud, but to say them to my face is, I'm gonna try that one.
Good. And it is very, very powerful, especially when, I mean, you could la 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 do, and then just randomly say it, right? You could just be doing something, and you really have to, in order for it to be as powerful as they can be, you are literally speaking the courage into yourself. So when you say it in the mirror, you're connecting with you, and you're actually, sometimes I get a little emotional because there's some days where I don't have it in me, and I literally have to look at myself in the mirror and say, I have the courage and confidence to live my true potential. So I do that more often now, that when I heard that, and that's why I shared it. So I share very well. Jojo, any thoughts
Hi.
from today? Hi. She's
Yeah,
another ray of sunshine. I love her.
hello. Yes,
Hi.
I started affirmations about 2.5 years ago, and I do a lot of meditations. And my guru, Jeanette May, said that if you say it, even if you don't believe it, you say it over and over again. If you don't believe it, you do it every day, and at some point you will believe it.
That's a really good point. Thank you for bringing that up, because it's true. I've introduced them to my team. I own a restaurant, for anybody who doesn't know that. And there are some youngsters who just don't believe them. They literally look at me and go, like, even if you don't believe it, because confidence is huge right now. A lot of people don't have a ton of confidence. Some people don't have any confidence. New stages in your life, you need confidence. You need confidence to get to that next stage. And so that's a really good point, Jojo, because the affirmation, like I said, helps you get through it. There are times when I don't feel like I have confidence to do a webinar, but I did it. And here's the thing. I said, I have the courage and confidence to live my true potential. I changed my thought process. The other one, Sue gave me was, I am doing a disservice by not offering my services. And it's a service. When I say it's a service, it's because I'm serving you. I'm giving you information. I'm sharing with you how I have really opened up my mind and to change the way that I truly just look at things. My perspective has changed. I've grown, and I want to share that with as many people as I possibly can. So, you know who I would like to hear from? Miss Kim Lee. I have a new connection with you. We haven't been introduced or anything, but I know that you're in the 10X community. But I heard something from you on Mupo about listening to your heart, or hearing what it comes from the heart. So tell me just a little bit about maybe the connection of the two. I think that would be really cool.
Thank you. Thank you, Cynthia, for igniting the fire in my heart, because I'm here in San Francisco kind of early. I'm still in my sleepy head. Anyhow, thank you for igniting that, because the heart, understand this, the heart is a powerful engine for love and connection. See, the mind, the conscious mind is there, but if it's not aligned within the heart, we misalign. So when the heart is closed, we don't have energy for taking care of ourselves, let alone to serve others. Imagine, I'm just using the analogy of the car. If the car have 8 cylinders, and one of them is not working, it affects the whole thing. So when we return to love, in loving ourselves, respect who we are, we have the strength and the courage and the conviction to move forward. I didn't quite believe in Grant saying that remove the word believe. Belief is like the blueprint within your soul. It comes from that belief, and then gradually the conscious mind will have the courage, will take action. So the belief is very strong. If we don't have the belief, we cannot really move in that aspect. So there's an 18 inches pathway between the heart and the mind. So when that pathway is blocked, we are in trouble, because within the conscious mind, within our mind that we're using every day, it's intentional. But if the body is the subconscious mind, it's like a memory sticks. So if the body and the heart is not united, doesn't matter what you intend, the vehicle, your body will not listen, will not follow through. So their affirmation is very, very powerful. Thank you, Cynthia. Because in the affirmation, you are consciously affirmed it, like you can convince your body. You convince your subconscious mind. When the body take it in, it creates a new neural pathway, blueprint, belief, and conviction. So thank you for asking that question. And I want to address the question you asked earlier is about the mirror work. The mirror work originally come from Louise Hay. She teach that methodology is very, very powerful because see, normally human being, we need other people to be in our presence to process through. We always need each other. Mirror, when we don't have anybody, we can look in the mirror and need that reflection back to us. So you're saying there.
And just to piggyback off that, I love that because yeah, when you are looking at yourself in the mirror, you're connecting with you, right?
Yes.
Your
Yes.
heart, your mind, you're connecting with you. And that I think is so powerful. I know, Ken, you have your affirmation and I'm trying to think of it and I'm sorry to bug you while you're on the treadmill, but yours is specific to that. I will live a life where my heart and my head, right? And there's one more part.
And my relationships.
And my relationships are aligned, right?
Yeah. And that affirmation has really morphed. It used to be just my heart and my head, and people, those of you guys that have heard this before, say, why is that important? And it's important because your heart's where you dream, your head's where you believe, your head is where your belief system is located. Your belief system dictates your actions dictate your future. So if I'm dreaming and believing and writing down this huge vision, painting this unbelievable picture of where I want to go, but my mindset is limited and I struggle with limiting beliefs, I'm never going to see that dream come to pass. And literally it erodes at the hope. But once you get your mindset lined up with your heart, then you start seeing things come to pass. And what I've noticed over the past year and a half for me is that once you start seeing those things come to pass, the third component of that affirmation for me is then you see relationships start to come into play that you've never had before. And it really is an organic process. So, and yes, I will give a shout out to the host of the call today, who actually called me a couple of weeks ago and said, hey, have you ever looked in the mirror when you do these affirmations? Not only did she say, have you ever looked in the mirror? She called me last week and said, she actually called me out. She goes, are you using the mirror every day on your affirmations like I told you to? I said, no, ma'am. Sometimes I use my phone, the camera on my phone, but it has
really
been,
good, actually. That was really good. So that's a good
Yeah.
trick, everybody. That's good. You're in the
Guys,
car.
I'm telling you, but it works. It really does work because you're speaking to yourself. And I love what Kim said about rewiring the neural pathways and NLP and all of those different processes. And it really does work. So
yes.
I hope that helps.
Thank you.
My sweaty
Yeah,
self.
that was a perfect affirmation, especially for what you said, Kim. It was his affirmation is perfect. When he first started saying it, I didn't truly get the full power of it, but he built that one. He crafted that one for himself. So that's another powerful thing is that, you can craft them for whatever you need. Thank you, Michelle. Shirley, you have your hand up, love.
May I share my affirmations?
Yeah, go ahead, Kim, and then Shirlene will go.
Yeah, my affirmation is very, very simple. Whatever that I affirm within myself, yes, I am, yes, I can. Sometimes people come with a negative, whatever judgment of me.
Mm-hmm.
I just turn around, can be in silence inside of me. I kind of erase that. Yes, I am, yes, I can. Yes, I am. Yes, I can. Yes, I am. Yes, I can. It's very, very powerful. It blasts out all the negative thing from anyone. So that's something that I affirm all the time. Thank you. In terms of challenge. Yeah.
That's good. And that's another one of those physiological things. Yes, I am. Yes, I can. If you're struggling with something and you need a push, yes, I am. And yes, I can. Right, Kim? So that's one of those that'll just give you that extra little bump.
Yeah. It's sometimes your monkey mind telling all the story in terms of self-sabotage. We get active toward that voice. Talk toward the ego to confront it. It just like our internal self-sabotage. Sometimes it comes out of nowhere. It can be from other people's thoughts. And if we're not aware, it just creep into our mind. So to stand up inside of ourselves and say those words, they are powerful.
Words are powerful. How do you talk to yourself? Will you talk to yourself more often now?
I am always talking to myself.
There used to be that old saying. I can remember my grandparents saying it once in a while, and I can hear it in my head. Yeah, I talk to myself. They used to go, yeah, but do you answer? So that's the little thing that I get stuck with when I said, well, now it's perspective. It's all in how you look at it, right? Yes, I talk to myself, people. I sure do. Charlene.
Okay, one of the things, I really appreciate you doing this today, and I'm sorry I was in the middle of cookie baking. I kind of got
That's
to
okay.
stop.
I wish I could try one. I wish I could
Well,
try
I'm
a
doing
sample.
it for, I raise funds for the kitties in this area rescue. Anyway, so I'm always making something, seems like.
That's
Then
wonderful.
I did the cooking show.
I know. Yes, we have. I
Stay
have
in the
to
kitchen a lot.
tune in.
But anyway, one of the things, and I really appreciate you doing this. I hope you do some more because I love it. I've been doing affirmations and dream boards for years. And every time I do things, and I created a dream board last year, everything on that dream board comes true. And I've done them before. I'm getting ready to do a new one with, you get bigger and bigger goals each time, but you have to think about them, look at it. And I love your saying out loud. I don't do that enough. I do it sometimes when I'm driving, I'll even say my affirmations out loud because I'm on the car and it's a good time to, repeat it over and over. But one of the quotes, and I'm going to find it. I used to post it. I posted it a few times on Facebook. I'm going to find it again, but I don't even know who did the quote. I don't remember if I documented that or not, but it says, be careful what you think. You just may be listening. So what we think, we listen to ourselves. So if you're thinking negative, you're saying negative, you're listening to yourself. Exactly. And that's this whole, everything you've talked about today, that quote just sums it up. But I do hope you'll do these some more. I can encourage you to maybe.
Thank
I love
you.
It. It's great.
Thank you.
It's great.
I appreciate
Very
that.
motivational.
Thank you. And I just want to just point out again, that is perfect. So Charlene, when you say you do a dream board, it's a vision board, right? Very similar, same thing.
Yes, same thing.
Images, things that you want to come to. It's all with the visual.
And I take a picture of it and put it on it's the, what do you call it when you open your phone? The picture.
Oh, your screensaver?
That's my dream. That's my vision board. So I'm seeing it all the time. Plus I have it.
That's awesome. I do want to just say one thing about that as well. And then Michelle will let you go. I have little sayings all over my house, positive reinforcement sayings all over my house. Starts in the bathroom in the morning, but I put this one right here. I put this one right here on my computer because I was a little nervous this morning. So this right here, I don't know if you can see it. It says, she believed she could, so she did. So I believe a lot of things. And I have this, you can't see it, but I can see it. And so I had it right there because I believe I could, so I did. So just the visual also though, they're little reminders. I have them everywhere in my house, everywhere. So I encourage you, I think Stephanie, you and I had a conversation and I said, print some positive quotes and put them up around your house. Because, again, it's that talk in your head. You don't know what's happening until you realize it's happening, right? Because you don't know what you don't know. You don't know that they're really creeping in there. So when you see all these positive things coming up all over the place and you're using those things, right? then that's another way to affirm. So thank you, Shalane, for sharing that. Michelle.
Yeah, I just have to say, when you put it in when you're texting it into your phone, I learned this from Ken Joslin, the man himself, when he was on Pitch Freaks one day. And he said that if you write it out with your hand and write it out, it does something. Like Ken, maybe you can explain it and then say it out loud. You're also listening. So I know Ken can probably explain it a little better, but I would never text something in your phone because it's not triggering your brain. And you guys can do anything because you were born on this earth for a reason. So make the reason happen.
I love you, Michelle.
I love you too, Cynthia. I'm so proud of you. You have no idea.
Thank you. Maybe Ken can't speak to it right now. He's got his camera off. But I do know, maybe he's trying, but I do know that when you say it is definitely more powerful. Yes, but you're muted. Did you hear what Michelle had asked? Oh,
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I'm sorry. I was trying to wipe my phone off because it's sweaty. Yeah, I think the stat is when you physically write things down, what happens is it slows your brain down, because anytime you hand a teenager an iPhone, dude, they can text like 80,000 words a minute, and that's how fast our brain operates. But when we write, what it does is it actually slows our mind down enough to be able to comprehend. I think it's 64 to 68% of the memory. There's an escalation in the memory when we write things down versus just when we type them or just when we say them. So again, that's why affirmations to write them down, like Sam talked about, super important for us to be able to do that. Whew, second win, y'all. Sorry.
Stephanie, I like yours. It says, there is good in every piece of your story. And you hung that in your living room. I'm just curious. So when you read it, what is it? Does it do something? What does it do? How does it make you feel?
Lets you think that you can find the good even through the bad. So the bad experiences, the things that have happened that are less than desirable, you can see that it's a reminder that even though things weren't the way you wanted them, there is something good that you can get out of it.
Right.
Stephanie, how has that changed for you over the past year since you've been doing affirmations? Like something negative happens now versus a year ago. How do you handle that? And what's the difference been since you've been doing the affirmations like Cin's talking about?
I'm able to tolerate the things that happen to me better. And Cynthia says things happen for you, not to you. And it makes me look at things differently. So it may not be what I want, but it's there for a reason and will get me where I'm going.
It's really crazy. And I know I tell you this a lot, Stephanie, but I am so proud of you. I am so, so proud of you.
Oh, thank you guys.
Stephanie joined the GSD community with her friend Phil, our friend Phil, although I've never met him. But when you get in a group, in a community, and we give you experiences and everybody learns from everybody, that is one of the reasons why I started the Facebook group. So if you need help with something, if you need something, encouragement, if you're in a hard time in your life, post it in there, get some words of encouragement. Somebody always has a different view than you do. Coach says you can't see the picture from within inside the frame. So when you have the support and a community that does different things for you to support you in ways that you didn't know. David, can you unmute your mic for a second? This guy's a master video taker right now. He does a video every single day. And I'm very proud of you too, David.
Well, I learned a lot from you and Ken and everybody in the community. Everybody is just this whole community is different than I've ever been involved into. You know, even Michelle and Kim called me up a long time ago, and we all got on a phone call together, and that was so fantastic. You know, I've always been in these groups that, you know, don't, I don't want to tell you my job because then you'll take it. And this here community, everybody's trying to collaborate together with you. And it's just so great. It's a very positive community, and it's really helped me out this last year and a half.
You've done amazing from the first time I met you in Tennessee. Absolutely amazing. And let me just ask you, because I don't think I've asked you, how do you feel? Like, what has it really changed for you?
I feel like, I don't know, it's just a good feeling. There's a lot of great people out there, and they're all wanting something for you, not from you.
Yes, Ken says that a lot.
Yes.
May I acknowledging David?
Yes.
David, I have seen you for almost 2 years since you know, the fridge, whatever that we was in. And you was really clamped up. And today I see you, it's just like day and night. I want to acknowledging that, because you now are so confident and you speak your truth. I mean, I remember we was there for, I don't know, for 4 months, and you never really speak up. That's why I reach out to you. So congratulations, brother. We are proud of you.
So proud of you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
And look at that smile. That's the best for me. When I see a smile like that, I'm like, it just lights up your whole face. It changes. And, you know, sometimes I use this line: if somebody's not wearing a smile, give them yours. Because so many times it changes your physiology, even when you don't want to smile. Jesselyn, smile. There you go. Sometimes we're just deep in thought. Sometimes we're just, you know, doing something. But literally when you actually smile and it changes, and then it's just, again, it's vibration. It's all these different things, but it starts with you. So you can do all of these things. I believe in each and every one of you. And I did drop my Calendly link in there in the notes. I'll try it one more time just in case, because it's probably at the top. If anybody needs help with affirmations, I hope that's it. If anybody needs help with affirmations, if you want just to have a conversation and say, this is what I'm using. How can I improve? What can I do to get through this? I'm here for you. You can set up a call. We can brainstorm it together. I'd love to do that for you. So anybody who needs to.
Also, I'd like to thank Cynthia too. After our last boot camp, I went out and spent a week out in California. I saw Cynthia for a couple of days. I saw Osbert, and Brian, and I even got a tour of San Francisco from the Pitch Freak himself, Antonio White. It was just an amazing week. And thank you very much.
It was great to have you here. It was a lot of fun. I wish we could have done more. The restaurant was so busy, but that just means that I'm going to come see you, because I've never been to Indiana. So there you go.
One over.
Well, you guys are great. I hope this helped you. Does anybody else have any questions? Anything else they want to share? I don't want to take up too much of your Sunday. We did great. An hour and 10 minutes. Everybody's good?
Please tell me you're going to do this again.
I would love to do this again. Thank you, Alex. Thank you so much for joining. I saw you had your daughter. Are you guys going for a walk? Look how beautiful she is. Oh, she's on a swing. I love swings. It is pouring down rain here. Pouring. We have a huge storm. So whatever you do today, I hope you got some value in this. Use affirmations. Talk to yourself. People, do not listen to yourself. Talk to yourself. I believe in you. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank
Bye,
you
everybody.
for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Great job, Cynthia. Love.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Hey,
Thank you so much.
Cynthia, I turn this back over to you. So stop the recording, or when you end,